Hey everyone, it's Dave here, and we're gathering today for the NFC North Roundup known as Who Will Be King. And normally for this show, believe it or not, I start out with something epic. This week's no different. There's a land where the gridiron gleams in the glory and might, where four teams clash beneath the stadium's light. In the North, where legends are born and crowns are worn, the battle begins as the new season has just begun. First to Brazil, where the Packers and Eagles soar. In Sao Paulo's heat, they'll settle the score. Green and gold against the white and black, they'll fight for victory in this international football fight. Then to Chicago, where a rookie takes the stage. Caleb Williams, first pick, ready to turn the page. Against the Titans, he'll aim to make history, to start with a win and solve the Bears' QB mystery. In New York, the Vikings sail to face the Giants bold, who don their throwbacks, a sight to behold. Purple Warriors clash with Big Blue's finest men in a battle that'll shake the very earth again. And as the sun sets on the opening day, the Lions and Rams will have their say. Under the lights of Sunday night's grand show, they'll prove which team's ready to grow. So gather round, fans of the pigskin lore, for the NFC North's about to roar. Who will be crowned king when the dust settles down? Only time will tell who'll wear the crown. From Lambeau's frozen tundra to Ford Field's dome, these warriors battle far from home. With grit and grace, they'll write their tale in a book of legends that never fail. So let the battles begin, let the stadiums quake, as the titans of the gridiron are destinies to make. For in the North, where only the strong survive, the quest for glory keeps the dream alive. Let the battles begin. And here we are, still waiting on Pay to get here. He's a little behind, probably stuck in traffic. But how many shows start off with an epic poem? You tell me, June.
Well, not many, and I want to say, you see how Pay acts once he gets a quarterback?
Yeah.
Let alone, I can't wait to see how he acts if they win a few games. Like, come on, this is what we got to deal with. Are we serious here?
It's. And he said he'd only be 10 minutes, and it's longer than 10 minutes.
See, man. See?
Hey, we're going to have to start without him. We'll save the spot. We'll save that spot for him. Probably. He's probably getting tips on how to, polish them and paint them and all that sort of neat stuff, and what things to wear, what lingerie he needs to add to his outfit, all that sort of stuff, I'm sure. But we'll find out. Well, I wanted to open the show with any notes from this week not pertaining to the game on Sunday. And since Pay isn't here, we'll skip the Chicago Bears for now, and we'll start with the Detroit Lions. And I want to introduce my hosts on them, from Bleachers to Speakers, the network that covers virtually every sport in Detroit. Football, baseball, basketball, and maybe soon hockey. Yeah, buddy.
Well, you never know.
We're hoping that they're going to join us right now. June and Foster, and how are you two fine gentlemen doing today?
I am great. I don't know how Foster is, but I'm great. So before I go on, please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. That's our new channel. We're approaching 200 subscribers. We're trying to hit that mark by the end of the month. It's been a struggle, but please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Foster, how you doing there, sir?
I'm good. I'm ready for some real life football. I'm excited to see what the excitement and the reception is going to be for our first game. I'm expecting record-setting decibels in the building. Kelly Stafford has already said she will not be in attendance, and so we won't get an opportunity to, as someone said, boo the kids. But yeah, it should be a fight though. I'm excited.
Oh, good.
You look different. You lost weight or something? What's going on over there?
Yeah, he's a whole lot shorter too.
It appears that way. Yeah. I probably do look a little younger, shorter, smaller. But yeah, big chop for the new season. Birthday coming up.
Okay. Oh yeah, 9/11. He's a 9/11 baby. He's a 9/11 baby. So
next Wednesday.
Wednesday. Are you going to the Tigers game next Wednesday?
I'll be here next Wednesday. I'll probably go to a Tigers game the day after. They got a day game on the 12th.
Yeah, the day game. The 12th.
Okay.
Tigers are 4.5 games out of the last wild card spot. We gained the game without even playing. You'll love to see that.
Okay.
Guess who just showed up? Just in time for introductions. Pay of the Bear Claw Podcast.
Oh boy.
How you doing, Pay? And he can't hear us. Or we can't hear him. One of the two. No. Pay will work out his audio issues.
I can hear you guys.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
How's everybody going? Pay of the Bear Claw Podcast, coming to you live from Chicago. We cover the Chicago Bears. Anywhere you get your podcast fix, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all of them. Check us out. We have a lot of good news for you to hear.
All right.
Really? Hold on, hold on, man. What is there some good news that happened that we don't know about, or what?
Oh, I mean, you probably have heard if you've been listening to me since April. You've probably heard that.
Gibberish. Okay. That's all I need. I thought there was something new that happened.
Both shuffle.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We wanted
to know.
Oh, you know what it is, June. We'll get to it. We wanted to start off with what's happened in the week other than what we're going to get into as we preview the games. Foster, is there anything that's happened on the Detroit Lions side, newsworthy, that's happened this week you want to share with us?
The team is relatively healthy as far as guys that didn't, completely go down with injuries during the training camp. So it's been pretty quiet. Gibbs is back. DJ Reader is back. The only one guy that's day to day with a lingering injury is Ife Melifonwu. So I think he's a game time decision at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think Pay's looking a little bit better now. Pay, what news is there in Chicago this week, not related to the game on Sunday?
All systems are go as far as injuries concerned. We had a minor concern about Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard, but they look to be, as I just said, minor. We did have some unpopular cuts and some unpopular players being retained, but that's more so not. I wouldn't call that major news as well. So, all in all, Dave, all quiet on the Eastern Front.
Okay. And I haven't seen anything up in Green Bay that's caused any problems other than both teams have been told to stay in their hotels due to the danger of being in Sao Paulo this weekend. Well, we're going to find out how that goes. It's going to be interesting. Now, on the Minnesota Vikings side, however, where content for content creators never stops, earlier in this week, Mike Zimmer, former head coach, gave an interview to Craig, I forgot, of the Star Tribune, and just opened up a vein. He absolutely went scorched earth on everybody, everything you could think of. And it was the last thing people wanted to hear. He took no responsibility for the failures at the end of his term and blamed everybody else. Now, on things he blamed some of the stuff, he was 100% correct. But the way he went about it put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Minnesota Vikings fans have been like, why, Mike, why? You're 68 years old. Can't you be mature enough just to let it drop? No. And it's been stirred up all week long. And it's driving fans crazy. It's not going to affect the team at all. Team's going to be fine. There's only, I think, a handful of players, 10 players maybe, that were played for him. But it was frustrating. Absolutely frustrating this week because of that. And if you want to talk about injuries, the injury report I hadn't seen right before we went live, hadn't come out, but I've heard, of course, our wide receiver 3, Jalen Naylor, who is notoriously famous for being fragile, who's had a great offseason, great training camp, great preseason, now has some sort of ankle injury and is at least limited, minimum. We'll find out. But Jordan Addison probably will be listed as limited too. He's been out in practice, full practice, so we'll see how that goes.
What'd you think of Tristan Jackson?
Tristan Jackson did a fantastic job to earn himself a spot on the team. Just great. He stood up, he caught passes, he ran, and everybody was knocking Tristan Jackson at the beginning of the process, saying no way he's making a team. Lucky if he makes a practice squad. Nope. He stood up. He excelled. He did great. How do you know Tristan Jackson?
Oh, he grew up with us. He played. He went to the same high school as my brother. Went to Michigan State, and then he transferred to Syracuse, where my brother played. So we know Tristan real well.
Mm-hmm. He did fantastic, and it was a surprise. It was one of the surprises from the whole preseason is how well he did, and he earned his spot on the team. So it's going to be interesting. He's sitting there at wide receiver 5-6 range, so it's going to be a while. He still has time to learn and be mentored, but if somebody like Jalen Naylor doesn't make the field because he's got a boo-boo, that increases Tristan's chance to get on there. And they do cycle in some of those into the wide receiver 3 position receiver types, where it'd be 3, 4, 5, or 6. They do get some playing time. And he'll have his chance to make his bones on special teams, without a doubt. And especially with the new kickoff rules and all that, you're going to want, what I'm seeing how they're setting up is they want wide receiver types and corner types and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily the big round bellies like we thought they made them want. No, they're wanting people that can run. So we'll see. Well, since that's the things that happened this week, and we want to go through those real quickly, let's switch to what we came here for. Mm-hmm. The week 1 preview. Let me bring Pay back on, since Pay, where are you, on vacation or something? You're not in your normal studio.
No, I got boots to the ground this week, Dave. It's bear down time. I am just 5 miles away from the stadium, so I'm right on the lake.
Ooh, nice.
I'm breathing it all in.
That's
the
nice.
W starting early.
It's going to be questionable if that's the case. I'm not quite so sure. But we'll start with the... We'll get there, Paige. Just relax. We'll get there. We're going to start with the first game that's on the schedule. And that is this one on Friday night in Sao Paulo, Brazil. First time the NFL has been in Brazil. We have the Packers taking on the Eagles.
Hold on, Dave. I thought there was a game tomorrow night.
There is a game tomorrow night.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But they're not in the division.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. And I couldn't tell you who it is off the top of my head. Who is it? Chiefs and somebody?
Kansas City,
Chiefs and Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah. So, but in the division, the first game is the Packers-Eagles.
Gotcha.
Now, T-Bass, we'll talk about that later. In this game, it's in Sao Paulo, like I said. It's the first time they've been in Brazil. They're playing at 7:15 Central. All these times are in Central. And like I said in the run-up, they've been told they have to stay inside their hotels because it's too dangerous. Do you think it's smart for the NFL to play in a country that gives teams warnings they can't go outside?
Well, I was always told,
they play in America, so.
I was always taught if you don't think it's safe, don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And first, and let me say this: Eagles by 30. But I would like to think that if it's that dangerous to where the players can't go and enjoy being in Brazil or wherever they decide to go, like there's nothing they can tour or get anything out of it. Why even go?
Hey, could be. You can see Eagles are favored. This is as of yesterday by 2.5. I don't know if it's switched today. And over under is 48.5. Pay, where do you think they're going to end up? Score-wise.
Last I looked at the line, Dave, as I was preparing for my betting show later. It's still Eagles by 2.5. As far as the final score, if that's what you're asking me, I kind of like the Packers to cover that. I'm not saying they're going to win. I think this game is going to be very close. I think it can go back and forth. There's been a little bit of consternation with the Eagles and their secondary this offseason. I think the Packers, if they are what everyone wants us to believe that they are, they can put up some points on that secondary. So We shall see.
Well, when it comes to injury reports, the Packers aren't exactly 100% healthy
Nope.
on this one, which is breaks my heart, of course. And of course, did I just killed the screen I was on. Oh, freaking wonderful. They're not 100% healthy. They've got a long list of limited players. And then the Eagles have one that just went changed to out. So it is what it is. Now, any score predictions?
Yes.
Okay.
Eagles 42, Packers 12.
Okay. I like that one. I do. Foster, do you have a more realistic one?
Oh, I don't know. If we're going with the over under and it being around 48 points, 28-20 Eagles. Yeah.
I got my screen back. Eagles limited on A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Landon Dickerson, guard. He was just resting, never mind. Isaiah Rogers, hand, linebacker, Devin White. And Devin White has been since moved today to out for an ankle. As for the Packers, we have this one's the good one. Running back Marshawn Lloyd, hamstring. Do they have any running backs left is the question. Hopefully not. Limited Edrin James, linebacker Edrin Cooper, hip. Wide receiver Romeo Dobbs, hand. Cornerback Carrington Valentine, hamstring. And running back Emmanuel Wilson, hip. So, with all those guys dinged up, I hope they get slaughtered. Now, Pay, since you are doing and did a betting show, what have you got? You said it was close, but you have the Eagles. What was your final score?
No, the final score, I got the Eagles winning, uh, let's say 28-27.
Okay. And Broski Bear asked Sarah, what's the over-under on numbers of players kidnapped? It's a good question.
Dang.
That's a good one. If they follow the rules and stay out of the favelas, I got the line at a 1.5.
Okay. Well, I always thought if the government's so up in arms against Elon Musk down there, they may just grab both teams and say, hey, we're not going to give you these guys back until you give us Elon. But that was just me. My wild thinking. We'll see how that goes. That's for Friday.
That's a fair trade.
That's for Friday. And we all hope the Packers start 0-1. So the next division game is on Sunday. Sunday. At noon. And it's going to be, where's the slide? Move that one out of the way. It's going to be the Bears. Goody, the Bears. And Bears are hosting the Tennessee Titans. Pay, this is all yours. Tell us about this game.
Well, the Bears, as you said, we are hosting the Tennessee Titans on the lakefront at the historic Soldier Field. And it's going to be more history made on Sunday. It's the first official start for Caleb Williams, the future GOAT. It will go down in history as where it all began. And Tennessee gets to be crowned first by the prince that was promised. What you need to look for in this game is how the defense, the secondary in particular for the Chicago Bears, how physical they are with the wide receivers and all of the pass catchers from Tennessee. Tennessee, a lot of the bloviators, the people in the know, the prognosticators, they will have you believe that this is going to be a down year for Tennessee. They've got some. They actually do have some weapons, and they've been chirping at the Bears for the last maybe month, saying we don't like that we're getting disrespected in this opening game. So it's going to be a little chippy. I can imagine that. So that's exactly why I want to see exactly how physical the secondary can get with these pass catchers. The DeAndre Hopkins and all the other ones. You know the names. These guys are no pushovers. But I do expect the Bears to cover that 3.5 and to win by 9-ish points.
Okay. Now I'm hearing Tennessee has a competent defense that may give you some problems.
Oh, I expect it to. Again, it's minus the S and Gs. This is an offense that is the first time they're going to play together in an actual real game. There's a rookie quarterback. We have a new lead running back. 2/3 of the primary wide receivers were not on the team last year. And the offensive line, 2 of them weren't on the team last year as well. So, for all in all, that's almost what you would want to say. Maybe half of the offense is going to be is still trying to figure each other out. All right, so it's fair. In fact, it's respectful to say the Tennessee Titans, their defense will cause a little issues here and there. So it is very important that the defense helps them out. The defense is pretty much all back from last year. You all remember how the defense finished last year. They're just a year better now. So it's very key. It's very key that they come out and set the tone and help the offense out, give them that boost of confidence that, hey, you know what? We got this.
Well, I found a little tidbit. Only 4 QBs chosen number 1 overall in the draft since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger have won their first start. And Caleb Williams hopes to become the first since 2002.
David Carr?
Matt Ryan?
June, does he become the first since 2002?
No. Not at all. Remember the Titans.
Yeah, remember the Titans. All right, we'll move on. Pays obvious.
Was it David Carr?
I'd have to look. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh,
I think it's Matt Ryan. That's my guess.
But I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
My bad.
We'll find out. Now, moving on to the next game, also at noon, we have Kenny Albert and trying to remember who the other one was, calling ours. Minnesota will be at the New York Giants in New Jersey. Vikings are now favored by 1.5 as of yesterday. They have steadily moved up. Originally, the Giants were favored, but now Minnesota's favored. Over under 41.5, so they don't expect a lot of scoring. We'll find out. It's noon on Fox. Now, what's interesting, I found interesting about this game, is that the Giants are wearing their throwback uniforms.
Ugh.
Horrible.
They're going to lose because of that.
Take it all in.
Just burn it down. No. They lose already. The uniforms, they're going to lose because of what they're wearing. Period.
Montreal Canadiens.
But it is, yeah, and that's probably the closest to it, Foster. You got that right. It is, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Now, as Anthony Tolleson just posted, it's a revenge game for the Vikings. The Vikings beat us twice. Once in the playoffs and once in the regular season back when we had Ed Donatel as our Donatel with his shell defense. He got their quarterback paid, Danny Dimes, who was in the picture just now, who is dating Kay Adams, by the way, which is okay. Good for him. But we're going to see if we can make that up and beat them into the ground. Absolutely into the ground on Sunday. And I think we can. This is one of the few games we're actually favored in going into the season. So we'll see. Sarah says, so are we playing Pepsi on Sunday? Yeah, it's similar design. Similar design there, Sarah. Thank you. Now, do any of you think the Giants are going to win this one?
It's kind of a toss-up for me, Dave. I was shocked to see that the Vikings were actually favored, to be honest with you. But then I think thinking about it a little bit more, that line tells you all you need to know. It's not going to be. It's definitely not assumed for either side. You know, I think again, toss-up. I don't necessarily believe the Vikings are a good team. Not the Vikings. I'm sorry. The Giants are a good team. As you saw with that picture, they have a terrible sense of dress. You know those adage, look good, play good. Well, I mean, do I need to say more? And they're still starting Danny Dimes, so that caps your win loss for the season at about 5. But yeah, as far as this game, the Vikings and the Giants, I think the Giants pose one particular threat to the Vikings, and that's if they can get their run game going. David Montgomery, not David Montgomery, but Singletary as their new lead back. If he can have some success against the Vikings defense, I think that makes it a lot easier for Danny Dimes to start opening up the field a little bit more to their new weapon, Malik Neighbors, and some of their other pass catchers they have. But that's the only way. If the Vikings can make the Giants one dimensional, game is over by halftime.
Well, I'm hoping so. I really am. So we'll find out. Hopefully the Vikings start out 1-0. And if you have your way, you'll start out 1-0. And the Packers will be 0-1 at the bottom of the division where they belong. I think we can all agree on that.
0-1 and held in Brazil over passport violations.
Well, that would be cool. Well, that brings us to the final game of the division.
Oh, yeah.
On Sunday night in prime time.
Prime time. Bright lights.
Where the Rams are traveling to Detroit. Stafford revenge game.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just 7:20 p.m. Central on NBC or Peacock or whichever one you want to watch it on. Detroit's favored by 3.5. 3.5 at home. That's only about 0.5 on a neutral field.
Oh, don't worry about that.
And the over and under is 51, so they do expect some scoring. June, tell us about this game.
Well, a lot of people will look at it as a revenge game. It's none of that. That was last year when we won victoriously in a meaningful playoff game. So that's water under the bridge. This is a new year, new game, and I think the Lions are up to the task on Sunday night. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Put it like that.
Foster, what are you looking for?
Well, the Rams have kind of developed into a newfound rivalry. Obviously, they're trying to get some get back after losing in a very close first round game last year. This is a Aaron Donald-less LA Rams team, so that creates a new dynamic. And they were already kind of struggling to get to the quarterback as is, but They have kind of refined their defensive line with Jared Verse, who's like an edge slash, pass rusher, as well as Brendan Fisk. So, so they have that going on. I think the key for us is going to be not giving up 181 yards to Puka Nacua, which I think our secondary is better. So, but they haven't played together in a regular season game. So that's definitely something to keep our eye on. We pretty much held Cooper Kupp at bay, but we all know that he can still be a threat as well. And Kyron Williams had a pretty conservative game, but we know that he's a Pro Bowl caliber. Well, not even caliber. I think he is a Pro Bowl running back. So, it's going to be imperative that we are better in the secondary, but also get to Stafford. Hutch had 2 sacks in that game, and the Rams, I think, gave up the seventh most sacks last year. So they did acquire Jonah Jackson, our former teammate, but hopefully we can make him look bad a little bit as we go against him in our first game of the season.
What about the accusation you guys played dirty?
I saw
that comment, and
whatever it takes to win there, sir.
Obviously, T.J. Hawkinson can vouch for that.
This ain't hopscotch. This is football.
It's a rough sport. It's a rough sport.
Yeah, it's not hopscotch, Hawk. You said what you said when you left. But we gotta be cautious of the fact that can go both ways, and then people can do what they do too. So that's the one reason why I don't play with it too much, because that's a two-sided coin.
Yeah. You don't want to see that to happen to nobody. And then if you cheer for it, it's proud as it could happen in one of your teams. So member on your team. So it's not funny. It's not glorified. It is what it is. It is football at the end of the day. It can happen to anybody. So.
And you don't want it to happen. You want them to hit hard, but
clean though.
Yeah, clean. Legal.
Clean. Yeah.
So, hey, it is what it is. Well, that pulls us out of looking at those games. So what's your feeling overall on the NFL opening weekend, not just the NFC North? Pay?
It is going to be interesting scheduling wise for the entire NFL. As I've said, as we saw, we have a game on Thursday, game on Friday, lots of games Sunday as usual, and a game Monday. And this is just the beginning of it. The NFL, starting in 2024, has decided to take over the entire week, the entire calendar. And just getting used to that. As of right now, it's gonna take some time. A game on Friday, what? that is crazy. In fact, I thought it was against their antitrust that they could play a game on Friday. So it's something to get used to. Like I said, that's my biggest takeaway so far.
I thought it was against the antitrust as well. Fridays and Saturdays were out of limits until college football was done on Saturdays. We'll see. Foster, what do you think of the season starting this week as a whole?
I'm just excited. I mean, the preseason and off season can be such a drag. So I'm excited to dominate in fantasy, including in Pay's league. I got to come take their money too. So, No, rocky start to it, but good thing he's mute right now.
June, what's your favorite season of the year? Favorite season of the year?
Yeah.
You talking about weather-wise, or you talking about football season? Of course.
You got it, buddy. That's why I like
I
you
mean,
so much.
just the overall fall in itself. Like I love the fall. You know it's fall when football is coming around. Even if you want to look at the end of baseball, baseball is heating up around this time. Fall classics. It's just that time of year, and then there's an actual game tomorrow night, and I'm going to watch it like it's the Super Bowl. Like no more games, no more playtime is over. It starts tomorrow. The season starts tomorrow. I'm excited. It's going to be great football all weekend, except for a great NFL football all weekend, except for Saturday. But you got football Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday night.
Hmm.
Boys, it's looking up.
It is going to be fun. All right. June, where can they find Bleachers to Speakers, and why should Vikings fans, since we have a bunch of them watching, subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers?
Because you should subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers because it's me and Foster. Whether we're enemies on the gridiron, you'll love us as people. I mean, we're not the arrogant Lions fans who know that the Bears are not better than us. We're not you know what I'm saying? We're not just, I mean, I'm saying that's what we're not, Pay. I'm just saying.
Those exist.
Yes. But we're not jerks. We are very down to earth, and you can find us on YouTube, Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube, that channel, and you can also at all your podcast aggregators for your audio fixes. Just go to platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music, uh, Apple Podcasts. Type in Bleachers to Speakers FFSN in your search. Make sure that notification bell is on, or follow us, and whenever we drop, you'll get our material. We don't bash the other teams so much. That's why you should listen to us. And we're going to give you
Unless it's Green
what we
Bay.
see. Well, Green Bay's are different, and this is different. I mean, I have a different kind of 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 hatred towards Green Bay. I don't hate the Bears. I don't like the Vikings. I mean, I don't hate the Vikings. I hate Green Bay. I'm just going to be honest. But that's why the Vikings fans should watch us, because we do have a common ground. We don't like Packers. Check us out.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great way to do research on the enemy because we do play you twice a year.
Wait, hold on. See, research against the Lions is not permitted. There will be no recording of the shows. You will forget what happens after we hit the stop button. Just one ear and out the other. We don't want any information transferred from what we have to talk about and provide.
Mm-hmm. Foster, you're still doing the baseball thing. Isn't Detroit doing well?
Yeah, we're 4.5 games out of the last wild card spot. I do remember the White Sox guys over at Page Channel saying that we were not too far off their trajectory, and it sounded insane then, but it really sounds crazy now. But you want to tune in to Bleachers to Speakers for all visual shows that we have over there, because we're following it down to the very last pitch, and we get to play the White Sox in the last 3 games. That might mean something. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun.
Speaking of the White Sox, are they going to set some sort of record in futility and least amount of games won this season?
Yeah, so the trajectory that B. Foster was referring to, it was the trajectory of losses. The White Sox they're going for broke. They're going to get all the losses. They say, you know what? We're going to zig where everyone's zagging. everyone's trying to get win. Everyone's trying to get numbers in the first column. Nah, let's stack up on the other column. That's where the money is, and they're going to achieve their goal in all its glory and all of its infamy. They will finish the season with more than 120 losses, beating every futility record set in Major League Baseball.
All right. Well, speaking of baseball, you're obviously here for the Bear Claw podcast. But where can they find you, and why does baseball matter?
So you can find all of our visual shows at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel on YouTube, where it's not just the Bear Claw podcast. being broadcast there. You also got the Chi City Bulletin covering the Bulls and all of the NBA. And what did the White Sox just do? The White Sox podcast, where you can hear all of the complaining and crying and overall audio misery of White Sox fans. That's a great reason to just follow the show. We covered 3 different sports. We have a betting show. We have a AFC North show on there as well. It's a lot of fun. It's some content for everybody 7 days a week on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. And if you're not particular to YouTube, that's fine as well. You can check us out on TikTok at Chicago Bear Claw at Hallis Hall. And we're also available everywhere you get your audio fix. Everywhere you get a podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and if anybody else I missed, we're there as well. Check us out.
And there's what their YouTube page looks like, minus the Bear Claw, because they don't have a banner. There's Vikings First in Skulls. And there's Bleachers to Speakers. So you know when you hit those, you are on target. Which, of course, we want to be all the time and on target. Hey, I got something special for you guys. Since you both do multiple sports, guess who's going to start doing multiple sports as well? We are picking up a Timberwolves broadcast to add the Vikings First and Skull. You are the first to hear it. And it's going to be fun. And you can catch us, obviously, Vikings First and Skull on YouTube. You all know you're here watching. And another reason to subscribe to the other 2 channels is that this show, Who Will Be King, rotates weekly between the 3 channels. That way, you don't miss a beat. You can always subscribe and just, click through if you're not interested in seeing the White Sox lose for the 4,000th time. Just so you get on Wednesdays and you get us. That's the way it goes. And you can find all of us on all your favorite aggregators. We are Fans First Sports Network, collaboration of the NFC North. And they are still trying to find somebody competent enough to do a podcast and join us from that team from Wisconsin.
Oh,
they're still looking.
That's why I think it's so long. You said competent.
Yeah.
I got a confession, Dave.
What's that?
I'm a big-time Anthony Edwards fan.
Good.
Big time.
I will let my host know that. New host.
I've also got a confession, Dave.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
If your new Timberwolf contributor also cross covers the Minnesota Lynx, you've got your first subscriber right here. I'm a big Lynx fan.
Interesting. I will ask that person. And
I'm going to subscribe as well.
Okay. What have you guys got going on? What's your next show, June and Foster?
That's a good question. Foster, when's our next show?
I don't even know.
It's been kind of sporadic lately. The next Lions show will be directly after the game Sunday night. So we air Bleachers to Speakers after every Lions game. So depending upon when they play, that's when we air for the Lions. We try to schedule a Pistons show, a Detroit Pistons post-game podcast show once a week. Those will be more frequent and at a set time coming soon. So, Foster, you want to tell them about Corner to Copa? I know things are heating up with baseball right now, especially here in Detroit, with the race to the wild card. So.
Yeah, we do a weekly show on either Sunday or Monday. Just kind of depends on the schedule, and I do an occasional post game recap depending on when the time ends. Right now we're on the West Coast, so you probably won't see any because I don't want to do them at 1 a.m. in the morning or whenever the game ends, when they play in San Diego or Oakland. But yeah, at the very least, you're going to see the occasional player profile as well as a weekly recap on Sunday or Monday.
Sounds good. Pay, what have you got coming up next?
So after this show, we do have our live football betting show will be coming on the channel at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. It's called Pay Dirt, amalgamation of my name and my co-host's name. Friday we are debuting a cross channel that we recorded recently between my Bulls co-host and my White Sox show. And with the topic of discussion, Jerry Reinsdorf, very good show. Want to check that out. But starting Sunday, we go into our football schedule at the channel. We got a rant every show, not the 2-minute warning like Dave. It'll be after the show. Just a quick rant. On Mondays, we have our recap, a full recap of the show. Wednesdays would be the All 22 show. Thursdays will be previewing the next game, and Fridays will be another. That'll be a Chicago Bulls / NBA show. So, like I said, every day covered in sports goodness for the fall.
Well, I can tell you for us, and that sounds fantastic, Pay. For us at Vikings First and Skol tonight at 6:30, we have the Real 4-0 show, and Tyler's going to give his preview of this Sunday's game against those Giants, the G-Men, and how the Vikings probably, hopefully, should defeat them. And then on Thursday night, we have our Vikings First and Skol Super Show. We have this every year at the beginning of the season to preview the entire season and get us rolling into the season. And at the Super Show Thursday night, that one will be at 6 Central. We have a special surprise for you because we are going to be introducing a new show to the lineup and a new host. So you definitely want to subscribe and find out who that is, because you may know them. And they're going to join tomorrow night on Thursday for the Vikings First and Skol Super Show. And then you talk about rolling into your normal flow on Sunday. We do it on Saturday. With 2 old bloggers moves from Sunday to Saturday, we become the pregame show. We're doing the last minute updates. We're breaking down. We have a whole section that's nothing but nerdy stats. And of course, we still talk about what happened during the week. And then, of course, on the game, live at the 2-minute warning, we go live to watch and react in those final 2 minutes as we roll into our post-game show, and then we start all over again. It's fun, but make sure you catch us not only tonight for the Real 4-0 show at 6:30, but tomorrow for the Vikings First and Skol Super Show at 6, where we have a special surprise for everyone. No, too evil. I am not starting an OnlyFans account. Nope. But with that, what do we say, Pay?
You got Kay Adams? I'm sorry. Bear
that
down.
Still blow your mind, didn't it?
I haven't recovered yet.
June, what do they say in Detroit? And of course, man, that isn't working. Skol Vikings. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcast aggregator. Thank you for listening to this NFC North group effort on the Fans First Sports Network. This has been a Bear Claw podcast. Bleachers to Speakers, Vikings First and Skull, and of course, the Fans First Sports Network production. Thank you for listening.